Oasis are just about to embark on their reunion tour, and maybe, hopefully, we'll get an album at some point down the line. In the meantime, I'm going to see how the current catalogue stacks up. I became a fan the usual way, by hearing their big hits, but once I've delved a little deeper into the discography, I've discovered a lot of strong material, a lot of underrated stuff. Number 8. Hidden Chemistry. The album has a lot of highs, but it's not as captivating as all the other releases from the Oasis discography. It starts off really strong with the Hindu Times, which is a great song for when you're leaving the house and want to strut down the street like you own the place. Stop Crying Your Heart Out is one of the best songs from the catalogue, and Songbird is a pretty little ditty. So what are the low points then? Probably All in the Mind is definitely one of them, Force of Nature and Better Man, and She Is Love. None of these songs are actually bad, so ultimately the lows are not even that low, it's just that they don't rise to the level of some of the other tunes. As a side rant, I used to have a weird hatred for Little by Little. For some reason the sound of it irritated me, especially since I thought it was actually a well-written song, so I can't really properly outline what bothered me about it. But when I was getting to the chorus, it sounded too polished, too radio-friendly, slightly cheesy and weak. I came around to it though after checking out the version from the O2 Arena that Noel did during his solo tour in 2012. It sounds so much better, there's more life to it. With all that in mind, Hidden Chemistry comes in at number 8 out of 8 and falls into D tier. Number 7, Be Here Now. Yes, the songs are too long. Yes, the songs are too loud. But are they actually bad? Not really. Stand By Me repeats the chorus a lot, but it's a really great song. Do you know what I mean? Could probably do with a trim, but it's a catchy song. Don't Go Away is a nice slower tune. The Girl in the Dirty Shirt is a fun song. So all in all, there's plenty of strong material here. What drags it down is its insistency on quote-unquote rocking out. It wants to be fast and loud, it wants to hit you in the face. While there's nothing inherently wrong with that, having 71 minutes of what Noel described as riffs in the Wayne World style, it can be a bit repetitive and a bit tiresome. If there was a bit more variety in the sound of the album, then it would have been a lot easier to digest. C tier. Number 6. Don't Believe the Truth. For some reason it took me a while to get into this album, but once it clicked I gained quite an appreciation for it. Out of the 11 tracks on here, 5 of them are penned by Noel, and I don't think it's at all controversial to say that those are the best songs by far. The Importance of Being Idle is my favourite track off Don't Believe the Truth, but part of the cue instantly grabbed me, and the bridge section on Let There Be Love, when Noel's vocal kick in, is really strong. However, the not Noel songs don't drag the album down. Turn Up the Sun is a good opener, and A Bell Will Ring, as well as Guess God Thinks I'm Able, are good additions. However, not all the songs are standout tracks, and that's what ends up dragging the album down a little bit. The sound of the album makes it stand out in the Oasis catalogue as a bit more raw. If on Be Here Now you had 1,000 layers of guitar fighting for space all at once, Don't Believe the Truth has a more natural feel to it and goes for an indie rock, garage rock type of sound. Also, I will complain later on in this list about the mixing of Liam's voice, so let me first praise it here for the track Let There Be Love. The mixing on his voice sounds really good. It's dry and clean, like he's in the room as you listen to the song. Props to the engineer for that one. Don't Believe the Truth, B tier. Number 5, Dig Out Your Soul. The last album that Oasis ever released, so far. And it's a great one to go out on. It's got a surprisingly menacing sound to it that no other Oasis album does. My main problem with this album...
They've never played a Turning live.
What an absolute shame. Also,
Dig Out Your Soul kind of tails off towards the end.
I'm inclined to agree. The album is very top heavy, the best songs are at the front. It's a slight continuation of the sound that we've heard on Don't Believe the Truth, except this one is peppered with a lot more psychedelia, a lot more atmospheric bits, so it's a bit more artsy than the previous album, but without being pretentious. The last few songs aren't bad, to be fair, but it's not easy having to follow I'm Out of Time and Falling Down. Also, I would like to mention there is a demo of Waiting for the Rapture floating around on YouTube, which is definitely worth a listen. Same for the alternate version of The Turning sung by Noel.
Play it live, you cowards.
They're not going to do it, are they? Oh well, B tier. Number 4, The Master Plan. There's an abundance of fantastic songs here, which is a bit mental considering it's a compilation of B-sides. Highlights for me are Acquiesce, Talk Tonight, and a very underrated track, Underneath the Sky. Also, as a side note, there's a live version out there of Noel singing Stay Young. The notes are quite high, so his voice sounds like it's getting a little bit strained in parts, but not only does he sing it well, his voice gets a little bit raspy, which makes the song sound even stronger. The song's a classic 90s Oasis, simple and catchy. It feels a bit wrong placing The Master Plan only at number 4, but I guess that shows the strength of their work, because we still have 3 albums left. A tier. Number 3, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. This album has a bit of a darker mood compared to all the other Oasis albums, and they pull it off beautifully. Whereas Dig Out Your Soul was a bit more angry dark, this one's a bit more sad dark, which I realise doesn't sound like much of a compliment, but who doesn't like a sad song? In a lonely place. If it wouldn't have been for 2 specific sore spots, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants would have probably made it up to number 1 on my list, and it would have absolutely been S tier for me. Where Did It All Go Wrong, Sunday Morning Call, even though Noel hates that song, but what is, and Roll It Over, all contribute to the gravitas of this album, and it's being topped off by Go Let It Out and my favourite song from here, Gas Panic! My pulse pumps out a beat to the Ghost Dancer, my eyes are dead and my throat's like a black hole, and if there's a God would he give another chance, an hour to sing for his soul. Where did he pull that from? I know Little James is a very popular punching bag, but I don't think it's a bad song at all. Although I will comment on its chorus, I won't be the first one to do it. I'm singing this song for you and your mum, that's all. Well, that's quite lovely. It won't be long before everyone is gone. Well, that's quite dark. You might as well have turned around and said to the kid, you and your friends are dead, game over. It's still a nice song though, definitely not one of the sore spots. My 2 issues with this album are Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is and I Can See a Liar. An even bigger issue is the mixing on those 2 songs. The album overall sounds really good, except for the mixing on Liam's voice on those 2 songs, with him sounding like he's singing in the bathroom. If not for that aspect, the songs would have been fine, but otherwise it drags the album down a bit, to number 3 and to the top of A tier. Number 2. Definitely Maybe. One thing that stands out on this album is the fact that it's a lot more playful than anything else they've released. You can see a snippet of that on the next album with the song She's Electric, but other than that, it's not really present much past Definitely Maybe. Here you have Shaker Maker, Married with Children and Digsy's Dinner. They've always done uplifting songs, but this album has a lot more whimsy to it. It sounds like a band that knows what sound they're going for, but they still want to colour outside the line, which in this case is a good thing. They have the rock in anthemic numbers, but they're also not afraid to sing about lasagna. Obviously the album is filled with classics, my 2 highlights being Slide Away and the song that got me into Oasis, Supersonic, S tier. Number 1, Morning Glory. Anything good about Definitely Maybe is present on Morning Glory, and then some. While songs like Some Might Say and Don't Look Back in Anger shine brighter than Hello and Hey Now, I would argue this is a no-skips album. Even if you're burnt out on some of the songs and you don't want to hear Wonderwall for the nth time, chances are when you actually put the album on, it'll still be a fun experience. The sound is a bit more polished compared to their debut album, the songs are a bit more sophisticated, with the ambitious Champagne Supernova, the delicate piano at the end of Wonderwall, and the harmonies in Cast No Shadow. All these elements wrapped up in what are ultimately very catchy tunes. Top of S tier. So here we are, the Oasis discography. While the 90s Oasis takes the top spots, I have a lot of appreciation for the 2000s Oasis, and I think it has a lot of gems that deserve more attention. If you're just starting to get into the band's work, the first 2 albums are an easy way to start. While I ranked Standing on the Shoulder of Giants quite high, that's just my personal preference, and I don't think everyone will agree with it. So if you want to find out more about 2000s Oasis, then Dig Out Your Soul might be the better choice to dig into. All in all, every album has something to offer, so regardless of which one you want to give a shot to, you won't be left empty-handed. Do you know what I mean? Thank you for watching. Feel free to let me know how their discography ranks up in your opinion, and how mad you are that they've never played The Turning live.